All right, let's talk marketing. But I want you to forget everything you think you know. Today, we're going to explore why the old view of marketing is basically obsolete and how its job has completely changed from being a simple megaphone to being the actual engine that keeps a business alive. Let's dive in.
Seriously, when I say marketing, what's the first thing that pops into your head? A clever Super Bowl ad? Maybe a catchy jingle you just can't shake? Or, that endless scroll of posts on social media? For a long, long time, you wouldn't be wrong. But in the world we live in now, that's just the tiniest tip of the iceberg.
Yeah, that's what it used to be about. But today, it's not even close. In our current economy, marketing isn't just about shouting a message from the rooftops. It's the core system that decides whether a business actually thrives or if it just gets left in the dust. It's literally about survival.
So to really get why marketing is so critical now, we first have to understand the battlefield, right? The new landscape that all these businesses are trying to navigate. And that landscape has a name, the dynamic economy.
So, what is a dynamic economy? Well, picture an environment that's just in constant motion. It's fast, it's totally unpredictable, and it's constantly being hit by all these powerful forces from the outside. There's really no standing still.
And what's really driving all this chaos? It's these 5 big forces. And the crazy thing is, they all feed into each other. You've got tech disruption, right? Think AI changing how we shop. Well, that immediately changes our behavior, what we value as customers. Then bam, globalization throws in new competitors from literally anywhere on the planet. And all of this is happening while the economy itself is shaky. It's this tangled web of constant change that businesses have to deal with, like 24/7. So, okay, how on earth do you navigate that chaos? Well, this is where marketing has its big superhero moment. It stops being just another department and becomes the brain, the central nervous system of the whole company, sensing what's happening and telling the body how to react. So think about it like this. The old way, marketing was just a promotional megaphone. Its job was to shout a message as loud as it could. Simple. But now, it's the strategic engine. It's not just some side function, it's the main thing driving the business. It's less about just selling stuff and way more about helping the entire company adapt and survive. And this quote just nails it perfectly. Marketing has to be the company's antenna to feel what's changing out there and its engine to actually do something about it. It's this constant loop, sense and then respond, sense and respond. Okay, so we're calling it an engine, but how does this engine actually work? Let's pop the hood and look at the 6 core functions that make it run. First up, you've got the antenna parts. On one hand, marketing is scanning the big picture, the political scene, the economy, new tech, looking for big threats or huge opportunities. But at the same time, it's got a microscope on the customer, acting as their voice inside the company. It's this dual vision, seeing both the forest and the trees, that lets a business pivot on a dime. All right, so once it senses all this stuff, marketing's job is to turn those signals into actual value. It helps drive innovation by spotting gaps in the market that no one else sees, which leads to new products. But, and this is super important, it also protects value by building a brand that people trust. Because let's be real, in a chaotic world, a brand you can count on is like a fortress. And finally, marketing's impact is huge, both big and small. From a macro perspective, it's actually fueling the whole economy by getting people excited and creating demand. But on a micro level, inside the company, it's all about optimizing resources. It makes sure every single marketing dollar is spent talking to the right people so you get the biggest bang for your buck. It's about growing the top line and making the bottom line more efficient. Okay, so we get it. Marketing has a new job, a new mission. But what does that actually look like day to day? Well, it means throwing out the old playbook and learning a whole new set of rules and tools designed for this dynamic world. First off, that old 5-year marketing plan, it's dead, gone. Today, it is all about being agile. Instead of one massive, high-stakes campaign, you launch a bunch of small, quick tests. You use real-time data to see what's actually connecting with people, and then you pivot, fast. You pour money into what works, and you kill what doesn't. It's a non-stop cycle of test, learn, adapt, repeat. And what's the fuel for this agile engine? It's data. So much data. Modern marketing isn't about hunches or guessing anymore. It's about using powerful tools like AI to understand customers as individuals. You know how your streaming service just knows what movie you want to watch next? That's the level of personalization we're talking about, and it's happening everywhere. Your strategy also has to read the room. It has to adapt to the economic vibe. When everyone's feeling good, your messaging can be all about emotion, about status, how a product makes you feel. Live your best life. But when people are worried about money, the message has to shift. It becomes about functional value. Here's how this will save you time. Here's how this will save you money. It's about being tuned in to what your customer is actually thinking about at night.
And there are two more strategies that are pretty much non-negotiable these days. First is purpose-driven marketing. This is about more than just selling a product. It's about connecting with people on their values, showing that your brand actually stands for something. And second, omni-channel integration. That's a fancy way of saying the customer experience has to be smooth and seamless, no matter where they are. On your app, in your store, on social media, it should all feel like one connected conversation.
So as we wrap this up, it all comes down to this one question. Think about the businesses you deal with every single day, or maybe even the one you work for. Is marketing being used as a simple megaphone, just shouting into the void? Or is it being used as a strategic engine, sensing, responding, and driving the entire organization forward? In today's economy, the answer to that question is everything.